wildman here. It's a great laugh. Today we're going to be talking about something. And I'm going to make a video about some knots. If that's not in this video, then this is irrelevant, but it's beautiful. It is the middle of September, so it's starting to get a little chilly in this New Hampshire lake, but
today we're going to be talking about the knots that all outdoor people should know. So knots come in handy for a lot of reasons. You're setting up your hammock, setting up your tent, setting up guy lines, you could be setting up a clothesline, anything like that. It's really helpful to have efficient knots that are easy to untie and do the right thing.
Well, this guy thinks he's Captain Knots. Thinks he's Captain Tying Knots.
And so I'm going to show you guys 4 knots, or maybe 5, that I think everybody should know, and it'll help you a lot in the outdoors. So the first knot that we're going to be talking about is the figure 8 knot. So the figure 8 knot is an extremely useful knot. There are a lot of things you can do with it, and it's very simple to tie. In this example, you can see we have a loop at the end using the figure 8, and this will help a lot for wrapping around trees, like setting up a hammock, setting up a guy line. This is also great for hanging things, or you can change the direction with the figure 8. So if you have a guy line going like this and you want to hang something from like an actual loop or something, you can just take it and tie the figure 8, and it would change the direction so you can hang something directly from that. So to tie the figure 8 is really simple. We're going to go over this right here. Basically what you're going to do is tie a regular knot. Go to tie a regular knot just like you would think about it. This is just called the overhand, the knot that everybody thinks about. So you wrap the string around itself, and you would want to go into the hole now, but you're going to keep going around and then go through the hole. And now you can see it looks like an 8, hence the name. A common way to remember is to make a loop, choke the ghost, and poke it in the eye. Boom, figure 8. Now to make a loop like I had in the beginning with the figure 8 knot, all you're going to do is take a big chunk of it here and have a loop, and you're just going to do the same thing. Make a loop, choke the ghost, poke it in the eye, pull it through. And now you have the figure 8. The advantage of the figure 8 over the regular overhand knot is that it's much easier to tie. If you tie a regular overhand knot and pull it really hard, as you've probably done before in your life, it'll be extremely hard to get this out. So when you do have the figure 8, you could pull this pretty much as hard as you want. We tie into these while climbing, and you can still, like with your full body weight falling on it, untie it when you're off. So the second knot that we're going to be talking about today is called the Girth Hitch. And that is basically something that I bet a lot of you have done before. We'll use the tree as an example again. It's basically just this. You are going to go around where you want it to be, and then this looped end, you pull the other end of the rope through it, through the loop. And then pull the rest through. And now it's wrapped around whatever you want it to be. You could use that to make like a guy line, you could use that to make a clothesline, and at the other end we're going to learn about the next knot. So that was with the first knot I showed you, that being the figure 8. That creates that loop here. And then you're going to go around whatever you want to tie it to, pull the other end through that loop. And now you have the Girth Hitch. So the third knot we're going to learn is a tension knot called the trucker's hitch. And so you're attached to this tree over here, and you want to attach to this tree over here. We're going to use this nice tree as an example here. So you want to make it pretty tight so that you can hang clothes or do whatever. This could be your part of your hammock. This could be your mosquito net. This could be your hammock rain tarp. But basically you're going to go around this tree here. And now you need it to connect to that rope. So this is also pretty easy not to tie. So what you're going to do is take the loose end that you pulled against the tree, and you're going to wrap it around the other end. it's going to, when you see it's going to create a loop. We are going to do 2 loops inside the loop. So 2 loops in the loop. All right. And then 1 loop outside of the loop. So another loop. But this time, you see the other loop that you have created here, the rope is going to go back inside that loop. And now, it should look like this. Now, I will go over that again really quickly. So here you go, take the loose end and wrap it around the other end. Once inside the loop, twice inside the loop, and then you're going to wrap it around this end once outside the loop. But when you do that, you're going to create a new loop and push this rope through it. When you pull it, it would look like this. Twice in the loop, once outside the loop. And now, when you pull this knot, you can tension the rope and it will not slip. So now we have this all tensioned here, and you can hang whatever you would like from it, and it will not slip. You can put all of your body weight on there. I actually hang my hammock like this, and it's helpful if you do put some force on there so you can get the knot set. And then if you slide it again, it really will just stay tight. So the last knot that we're going to talk about today is called the Clove Hitch, and this is a great way to attach something to a tree as well, and it's very easy and quick to tie and will not slip on you. This also doesn't require you to tie 2 different knots in order to tie a rope around the tree, although the other method does have its advantages when you're tying up onto things and that are like hard to reach. So here's a quick example of the Clove Hitch. Oh, low. So using this tree as an example again, we're going to tie the Clove Hitch, and so what you're going to do is give yourself a good amount of tail because you want a long tail at the end of the knot anyway, and you're going to wrap it once around the tree. Then now you're going to wrap it underneath the last wrap that you wrapped before. And then when you come back around, you're going to put your rope through the loop that you just made. So here is the end here, and you're going to put it through this loop. Then you're going to tighten it up like this. So when it's done, it should look just like this. So we're going to tie it one more time here for you guys. Remember, a lot of tail. You're going to wrap it around the tree once. All right. Now you're going to wrap it again, but underneath the last wrap. Here you go, and then you're going to go through that loop. So the same piece that you just used, that you went under with, you're going to go through that loop again, ending up with that. Now feel free to obviously go back and re-watch all of this stuff, but as you can see, this knot will hold. It's going to be really useful to just quickly attach rope to things when you need it to, or when you need a rope to be attached. I suck at talking. But all right, those are the 4 knots that I think are extremely helpful that everybody should know, and it's gonna help you out in a lot of situations just to know those. Trust me, you'll use them. And there's gonna be a lot more knot series that I'm gonna be making because I know a whole crap load of them. So the next videos are just gonna be me going over one specifically and all the uses for it so that you don't have a crazy overload of information like this video has probably been. But I hope that you use these knots and that you enjoy them because they help me in many situations. But stay wild, people. Jacob the Wild Man is out.